Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we are bringing a series back from the dead. It was one of my favorites, UGC to life. Basically, this is where you guys submit drawings, and I turn that drawing into a 3D model, and then I will send that 3D model to you. So if you're in the UGC program or ever plan to be, you can upload it for completely free. If you want to submit any drawings, join the Discord and there is an announcement on how to submit those. Anyways, let's get into it. Now, the first drawing, I'll just pop it up on screen. It's some sort of Christmas beanie. All right, now the last time I did this series, I knew absolutely nothing about Substance Painter, but now I do. So we're gonna be able to go a little bit more creative and a little more outside the box, not having to just use gradient colors. To start this beanie, I thought I was gonna start with the cylinder, but we are actually gonna start with a UV sphere. Let's hop on into edit mode and bring this up to the character's head. Alt-Z. Now we can kind of see through the character and through the ball. And I want this to be a little bit oversized. We're gonna go just about here, and I'm gonna just obliterate the bottom of this. Delete faces, perfect. Now I'm gonna grab these and these faces, Alt-E, extrude along face normals, and now we have a very, very basic shape of a beanie. However, we want this to be a lot more playful. So can we just move this up a little bit? We can. I think we're gonna move these two a bit closer together, S and Z. And then this one's actually, it is gonna go back down because it looks a bit weird now. We'll go something like that. We did want some sort of a line in the middle, it looks like. So we're gonna select these two. Actually, since we're texturing it, we don't even need to separate it. So we'll keep that like that for now. I think this should go down more and this should come in. We're getting a little closer to what I was wanting. Right now, it kind of looks like one of those beanies that like a robber would wear. And that's not exactly what I was going for. Let's go ahead and fill in this face. But we are going to inset it and extrude it up once, just so it's a completely full model. When going into Substance Painter, you want to make sure you don't have any like open spots in it. So that will be good. I am going to change this to auto smooth. I think it will look a little bit better. And then I think we're going to have to bring these up and bevel instead. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think that looks too bad. Now, overall, it does look like they have a thicker base here. So we're going to just drag all of this down. It's going to make it more of a stylistic hat? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Let's move it up a little bit so it's not covering the whole head. And then let's make the little ball on top as well. Shift A, UV sphere once again. And I have an idea here. Not sure if it's gonna work, but let's do select and then select random. Okay, I need to make these different objects. There we go. Now we'll get it select and select random. And then I'm just gonna scale. See how that adds like a little bit of a grossness to it? We will have to delete this top piece because it just ends up looking pretty ugly. In fact, we should actually make this a different way. That's gonna look a lot better. We'll just use an icosphere. I think that is indeed the way to go if we shade it smooth. Oh yeah, definitely. Make that pretty small, put it on top. And we don't want this to be perfectly symmetrical by any means. So let's rotate it that way. Maybe bring it back a little bit, something like that. And now we have our base beanie shape. Now what we're going to do is remesh this. I don't think this is absolutely necessary, but I do think it'll help us a little bit later. If we look right now, we have all of these faces inside here, which are just not needed. So let's go ahead and add a remesh modifier. Perfect. And let's crank this down so we don't lose this detail. I think 0.02 looks pretty good. And let's apply that. Now, as you can see, this is super, super dense. 974,000 triangles. That's not going to be allowed into UGC. We're going to use this plugin called Quad Remesher. I'm going to set it to 1,000 to start off and click remesh it. That's going to take us from this super, super dense mesh all the way to something, back to usable. Right down here, we have the counter and it is done. Check it out. Now there's no faces inside of this and we still have a pretty good topology. There's also a ton that we can actually get rid of. All of this. So we'll do X and dissolve edges and we can do that a bit throughout the hat as well. Now let's just shade smooth and that is looking pretty good. I think this can get a little different. Let's drag it down, maybe in. and down. And then this one down a little bit. I'm just trying to make that look a little better. There we go. This is 2,000 tries. We are gonna remesh it one more time. I'm gonna set this to 800. Oh yeah, look at that. They look identical. Right here, we have this topology, and right here, we have pretty similar, except instead of tries on the ball, it is all quads. So we're gonna be working with this one we will just hide for now. Now that we have the mesh of our beanie done, I still haven't learned how to properly unwrap everything. We have a beanie. Let's take it into Substance Painter and see if we have learned anything at all. Now guys, this is my first time using Substance Painter 2024, so there's some things that I didn't have in the 2021 version. For example, we have actual Roblox templates now. That's sick. I think we'll use the material variant one. Now, the UGC texture size used to be, I think, 256. It used to be 256, but now I think it's 10. I don't know. If you're in the UGC, let me know in the comments below. It's been a long time since I've been in the program, so I've kind of lost the minute detail. Let's go ahead and select our mesh. We're gonna tick auto unwrap because I am horrible at unwrapping. All right, and I don't think there's anything else I need to change. We have some options here. Seams, recompute it. You know what? Create fewer seams might be a good idea, but for now, while I'm learning, I'ma just leave it all alone. Click OK, and now we should have our mesh. We do. And here, this isn't the worst unwrap. Definitely not the best though. So I'm gonna guess this is the ball on the top. Yes, it is. This is the beanie itself. And then this would be our band. The bottom, it's gotta be. Okay, now, in Substance Painter, I'm still pretty new, but I do have the very, very basics. We're gonna start out with a fill layer, and we're gonna make this a nice red. Perfect. Now we're gonna do another fill layer, add a black mask, here the polygon fill, and that will let us do very simply what we're trying to do. Let's get this angled right so we can try to get the bottom in one go as well. Very close. You know what? I'll take it and then I'll just click the rest of these. There we go, guys. Our hat is very, very basically colored. Now, if we want to add a line, let's go ahead and make a darker red line, for example. We're going to add another black mask on top of another fill layer. Go to our polygon fill, and this one, we're going to make a bit darker of a red. Something down here. Now, we could go ahead and select that stripe that we want in the middle. I think we'll do just 2 lines like this. I think I could just follow it on this side, and it should line up pretty perfectly. This darker red is also too dark. We might even go to a lighter red than normal because I don't want to have it super dark at the end. I want it to be a very fun and playful item. There we go. I am very much debating having one more line selected, like down here. I think that looks better. All right, that's looking pretty good. Now this dark red definitely has got to get changed up a bit. We could go to a lighter red, maybe something like this for now. And now we need to start making this look like an actual fabric. Now that we have our colors on, let's get this texture, guys. Boom. Let's move this down to the bottom, just because that's what I'm used to in the old one. We have textures here. I've typed in fabric, and let's find one that works well on this. We are gonna make one more fill layer, and we're gonna put this fabric texture on whatever. I kinda like this one. It kinda fits a knitted vibe. So we're sending it. I'm gonna drag this onto here, base color. And guys, I've never done none of this before. So we're about to learn right now tiling. We need way more tiling. This has to look something like that. Rotation. Yeah, it needs to go that way, something like that. And then this whole layer, let's just change it to an overlay layer and drop its opacity as well, something like that. And we need to go back through all of these and up the roughness. A knitted hat would not be reflective at all. So I'm gonna up the roughness on all of these, and already, that's looking a little bit better here. I'm sure I could do even more. So I'm gonna play around for a little bit in Substance Painter, try to learn some new stuff, and I'll be back with a finished product. All right, guys, I've been playing around a little bit, and there is one more thing I need to do on this fill layer. The tiling is just, it's too big. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. And we need to do the same thing on this white texture. It's just a bit too big. So we're gonna make that tiling bit smaller. If you go too small, it kind of looks like concrete. I think something like this. Let's get it back into Blender. And there we go. There is a few things wrong since I didn't really turn it around. I used an auto stitching generator, which, yeah, That didn't work out too well for me, so we'll need to take that off. But from this angle, I would say it turned out pretty good. If you guys want to see more videos like this, you gotta make sure to join the Discord and submit some ideas. Anyways, let's get on to some questions. Question number 1, will there be injuries in the game? Like when you crash your bike, when you ragdoll, will you get injured? Not for release, but maybe sometime down the line. We're still trying to figure out how to balance everything on the realism side and the fun side. And I've got a couple ideas, but I don't want to really go into those too much just yet. Question number 2, what inspired you to do YouTube? I wouldn't say anything really inspired me to do it. When I first started, I was on a game called Miner's Haven on Roblox, and I was pretty good at the game, and so many people were asking me, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I had no friends. So it was kind of a kill two birds with one stone. I could start a YouTube channel doing tutorials on this game, and I can also build up some online friends because we moved around like a lot, so I couldn't really make friends in real life, right? At least with YouTube, I've been able to take everybody with me no matter where we move, and I helped a bunch of people back in the day with those tutorials. The last question for today, where do I get that anime lighting plugin you got? All right, there's no anime lighting plugin. I think you're talking about the load lighting settings. There's a plugin called lighting settings, and I saved the anime ones. They're from Duelis's Patreon, and I just loaded them in with this. So you can save lighting settings, and I have a whole bunch of different kinds saved. Dark, light, spooky, anime, etc. And then I could just load them in with this plugin right here. Anyways, that is gonna wrap it up for today. If you did enjoy and want to see more content like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Later.